how a dual engine failure can happen.
There's a couple of ways that it could happen. Whether could like with Sully, it could be a bird strike, it could be fuel contamination, it could be fuel exhaustion. It could be any number of things, and I'm not going to speculate.
Myers emphasizes that there's no one-size-fits-all in an emergency situation like this, but he says the pilot's response was heroic and that it caused minimal injury on the ground.
I don't know why the engines went out. I don't know why, if they were making thrust, but evidently the pilot was very calm and cool and collected, and he said he knew what the glide ratio was. He's like, we're not going to make it. And so putting it down on the interstate looks like the best option.
Despite the tragedy and the loss of both pilots, Myers tells me flying in the sky is still overwhelmingly safe. He says events like these continuously work as manuals to improve safety in the industry.
It's an unfortunate accident, and aviation, all the manuals are written in the blood of those that died earlier or previous accidents. And so I think that the understanding that aviation is still a hugely safe mode of transportation.
Reporting in Naples, Mahmoud Bennett, Fox 4.
And, you know, when you see the plane moments after crashing and you see that fireball, it is really hard to believe that 3 people walked away alive. But that is thanks in part to the pilots who died heroes and the quick thinking of the crew member that was on board. Shari Armstrong spoke with a flight attendant who's not associated with this wreck to learn more about the training that helps them react in an emergency like this.
There are so many questions that come following that I-75 plane crash that we saw on Friday. 2 pilots were killed, yet 3 people, including a crew member, survived. And while we're waiting to learn and hear directly from those people who survived, I wanted to speak with a flight attendant to learn just how you prepare for a situation that you hope would never happen.
This is Darcel Murray. She's a former commercial flight attendant, so I felt confident asking her about preparations for people who do this kind of work. She told me that the foundation of training for this job, no matter how big the aircraft,
is help a flight attendant to think. We feel responsible for those souls aboard the aircraft.
And she says a lot of the confidence she felt in the air came from training she received on the ground.
How to stay calm, how to stay poised, how to stay in control of 200 passengers. We had to watch every crash prior to accepting the contract.
Most of her trainers, Darcel says, included former flight attendants with extensive experience.
Because of training is so extensive in that area, right? You feel confident that when you take off and you're in the air, that you're going to save those people.
I showed Darcel video from Friday's I-75 plane crash scene.
I would be in prayer the whole time, literally. As literally, we feel responsible for those souls aboard the aircraft, and we call them souls.
Based on what we've seen, Darcel credits the flight attendant for following what she learned in training too.
They train you to get away from the aircraft, because the fuel, if you get in that fuel, I mean, you will ignite and reignite.
As the days go on, we will learn more about this investigation and those impacted by it, something no amount of training can change.
My heart goes to those families, the staff that has to report on this, and the people who lived through it.
Darcel also mentioned mental health too, saying that this not only impacts those who were directly affected, but also those who are doing the investigation, those of us who are reporting on it, and those of us who are watching as this whole thing unfolds. So she says, take care of yourself. In the newsroom, Shari Armstrong, Fox 4.
Great advice. Thanks, Shari. Well, our team has been on top of this developing story since moments after the crash happened on Friday afternoon. If you want to see our complete coverage, including an interview with a man who witnessed the crash, a homeowner who says they felt their entire house shake after it happened, you can see all of that when you go to fox4now.com. Collier County Commissioner Rick LaCastro has bonded out of jail. He was arrested on an outstanding warrant for battery yesterday. He was booked into the Naples jail. LaCastro, has denied the domestic violence allegations that were made against him. In a police report, LaCastro and his girlfriend were reportedly in some kind of an argument after they left a club back in October. The report went on to say that while they were trying to head home, the woman suffered various minor injuries, but she initially declined medical treatment. A lawyer for the commissioner says LaCastro is cooperating with investigators. There is, by the way, a Collier County Commission meeting this morning at 9. We don't know if LaCastro will be there, but Fox 4 will be there. We'll be sure to update you on anything we find out about this developing situation. Well, the Lee County Sheriff's Office says 3 men are in jail this morning after a jewelry store heist. This is in Lehigh Acres. So this is video from early Sunday morning. This is inside VIP Jewelry. You can see the people there with welding torches, and they're covered in black hoodies and black face masks. Police say they were breaking into a safe in the jewelry store. So when deputies arrived, 2 of the men were on the roof. They were able to arrest one after he jumped to the ground. Deputies then followed another suspect by air. They arrested him, they say, near a canal. The 3rd guy was arrested after deputies found him hiding, they say, behind a nearby store. Lee County Sheriff's Office says a duffel bag full of jewelry and gems was found in the store. It was sitting right next to that safe. The sheriff says all 3 that they arrested were from the Miami-Dade area, and they have all served time for previous burglary convictions. Well, Cape Coral police say they arrested 2 people that threatened Lowe's employees. They say they threatened them with a gun. So on Sunday, the loss prevention team at Lowe's confronted this pair. They were later identified as Charlie Perez and Helena Sepulveda. They were trying, according to police, to steal items from the store on Pine Island Road, and they were wearing these matching Cookie Monster pajama pants. Well, store employees told officers Perez lifted his shirt to show them that he had a gun.
Retail thefts are very common right now. We see these not just at the Lowe's location, but all across Cape Coral, whether it's a Target or any other kind of big box stores. Even mom and pop stores are seeing this right now.
So the pair is accused of spitting on the store employees there at the Lowe's. Police arrested them early yesterday morning. Perez told police, though, the whole thing's a misunderstanding, that he didn't have his gun on him at the store. All right, this morning at 10 o'clock, Governor DeSantis, along with Attorney General Ashley Moody, they are holding a press conference at the Cape Coral Police Department. We don't know what the press conference is about at this point, but Fox 4's Ella Rhodes will be there. We will have an update for you throughout the day. We are going to be there with an update starting at 9. Again, that press conference starts at 10, and we will cover it for you on Fox 4. Around 1,000 Fort Myers homes and 100 businesses, they are under a boil water notice after a water main break. So I want to show you the area that's impacted. It's highlighted there in the orange on your screen. Lee County officials say households and businesses who are in this area should boil any water for drinking, anything you're going to ingest. So it's north of Hanson Street and south of 82 there in Fort Myers. We'll make sure to put this on our website so you can take a closer look at that map area if you need to. This is expected to be lifted by sometime tomorrow afternoon, but first they have to test the water to make sure it's safe again to drink.
And just ahead, we're here with Debbie Martin talking about the algae that she found in her backyard and what the FGCU experts say is the reason that it might have appeared overnight.
Right now, 7:12, cold front moved through while we were sleeping, taking some rain with it. Now what's behind the front and what does it mean as we roll through your Tuesday? Those answers coming up here after the break.
If you have a situation where you need a lawyer, Farrah and Farrah's team give you the best service that you can have. They set up all your doctor's appointments. They are very honest, very trustworthy. You couldn't be in better hands.
All right, 7:15, and while the nation has had a little bit of time to process the results of Super Bowl 58, some mental health professionals say you might not be alone if you're still kind of upset about the San Francisco 49ers losing. Fox's Christina Coleman is taking a look at the psychology behind being a sports fan and why the outcome of a game hits so deep for so many.
Super Bowl 58 may be in the past, but Kansas City Chiefs fans are still feeling the rush from their team's win.
I was very nervous and really sweaty, but I got so excited at the end.
As supporters of the San Francisco 49ers are still trying to come to terms with defeat.
So super sad and depressed. Yeah, I really wanted it.
But no matter how you feel,
I'm sad, I'm really heartbroken because it means a lot.
Mental health experts say it's not unusual for people's moods to be affected by their favorite team's performance.
People have a very complex kind of sense of
their own sense of their identity.
According to Edward Hurt, psychologist at Indiana University, we can form our identity around things like work, religion, and politics, but especially sports.
A big part of our identity is the teams that we root for and our fanship. And so for many of us, it's the hometown team, it's the one we grew up with.
Once we start seeing ourselves represented by a team, Hurt says the connection to the players and whether they win or lose becomes more personal.
Many of us think as fans that also we do contribute, even though we're not out on the fields, our rooting for their team, our support and stuff is integral to their success.
That emotional investment is why Hurt says superfans can feel super bummed when their team doesn't win and vice versa.
By extrapolation, we believe that, well, maybe it is the case that when our team does well, we feel better about ourselves.
Meanwhile, the party still continues for the Chiefs. Their Super Bowl victory parade is scheduled for Wednesday in Kansas City. Christina Coleman, Fox News.
All right, if you need a little pick-me-up, even though the game's over, you can still score a good deal at Buffalo Wild Wings. Because the Super Bowl went into overtime, they have decided to give you, and all fans really, 6 free wings. You can redeem those on Monday, February 26th. So from 2 to 5 on the 26th, you can get 6 boneless or 6 traditional wings. No purchase necessary to get the free wings. You can just order dine-in or take out and reap the rewards. All right, did you see the Dunkin' commercial during the Super Bowl? Ben Affleck's go-to Dunkin' order is now an official drink on the menu. If you didn't see it, the ad starred Ben Affleck, Tom Brady, and Matt Damon as members of the boy band, the Dunkings. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, by the way, obviously are from Massachusetts. So the commercials led to the release of this drink and donut combo. It's the Dunkings iced coffee, that's Affleck's favorite, and a Munchkin skewer. More items will be available under the Dunkings name for a limited time. I love that commercial. Having grown up in Massachusetts the first 10 years of my life, Dunkins is like a place to be. You gotta go. It's all about Dunkins.
When you order it, do you have to say, how do you like them donuts? Remember the...
Yes, how do you like them donuts?
Like, to get the discount, you got to drop the line.
Butternut all the way, baby. If you've never had one, go get one.
They're so hard to find, but they're so good. Yeah. Hey, listen, can't wait to get over there and give it a shot. Let's get you guys checking the forecast here this morning. 7:19 is the time. Right now, as we look outside of our camera that sits on top of the Luminary Hotel, we have got clear skies, a few lingering high-level clouds behind a cold front that moved through overnight. We talked about it yesterday that you probably wouldn't even know it rained as a thin line of showers moved through while we were sleeping. What's left of those showers moving off of Key Biscayne and over Ocean Reef and Key Largo. That line didn't drop a whole lot of rain here in Southwest Florida at all, but what it did is shift our winds, and we're waking up this morning with mid to upper 60s. We're only going to climb up to about 72 to 73 degrees today, and already we are some 4 to 5 degrees cooler. So grab a light jacket this morning because not only are our temperatures going to drop, the wind's going to pick up, and the humidity is going to drop. Dew point values yesterday were in the low 70s. It felt like early summer. Right now, a little more tolerable in the low 60s, but by the time we get towards tonight, those numbers are going to be in the 40s. It's going to be crisp, it's going to be cool, and the wind is already picking up. There's 15 miles per hour right now at Page Field with the gust of 20, but it's really not about the wind speed itself, but it's about that direction. Yesterday it was southwest. We saw gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Well, today they'll be near 20. Matter of fact, that northwesterly wind's going to continue, and you see a little blustery here along the coast. We do have a small craft caution out on the water through Valentine's Day, so keep that in mind if you're thinking about taking the boat out there to celebrate for tomorrow. But with that cool air arriving here, we're going to stay well below our average here of 78, and tonight we're going to go below that average of 57. So not much movement with temperatures today, but it's got to be comfortable. It's going to be a nice one. And then overnight tonight, we can't rule out some upper 40s as that dry air continues to hold strong. So as that low moves across the northeast and mid-Atlantic, dropping a little snow for northern parts of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, into the Cape Cod area. And for us, we're going to benefit as that front turns our wind out of the northwest. We'll see plenty of sunshine, a few high-level clouds again for tomorrow, but things are going to continue to stay really, really quiet. Matter of fact, it won't be until Thursday and Friday the wind starts to come a little more out of the east, and that will start to warm us up. As a matter of fact, as you look at the 7-day forecast, we'll warm up through Friday, and then what's going on here over the weekend. Only 67 on Sunday. Well, we've got another storm system here that's going to bring some big changes there over the weekend, and we will see the ridge hold strong, but watch what happens. Another dip in the jet stream here coming up over the weekend. That's going to tap into the Gulf waters, and this one has a little more substantial chance of rain. So looking at here President's Day weekend, clouds increase, wind increases here on Saturday. Rain really shoots up Saturday into Sunday, where we'll see a 70% chance of rain, and some of that could linger there into Monday on the 3-day weekend.